I'm Marilee Caruso. It's Wednesday, November 19th. Today, an arson arrest.
We wanted every resident and business owner to know that we heard you, we shared your concerns, and we were taking each and every one of these incidents very seriously.
Police arrest a suspect in nearly 24 arsons. How the suspect was caught and why some businesses can't rest easy just yet. Also today, encampment enforcement. How many homeless encampments have been shut down thanks to new rules put in place. Plus, back in business. The city reopens Bonnie Vitello Pool after spending millions on upgrades. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. It's been a summer and fall filled with anxiety for businesses across the city as a string of fires burned building after building. Tonight, some relief after Winnipeg police made an arrest in connection to the arsons. Standing by live in studio with the details is CTV's Taylor Brock. Taylor, how did police crack this case?
Well, Marilee, police say while each fire had variations, there was a noticeable pattern in the nearly 24 investigations. A possible suspect was identified over the weekend. On Tuesday, while investigators on scene at a fire in the 100 block of Magnus Avenue found that suspect nearby.
The incidents have caused a tremendous amount of concern, fear, and financial hardship to those who have been directly impacted.
Police say a 35-year-old man has been arrested in connection with 22 arsons, break-in and damage-related offenses around the city. The targeted locations, all between June and November, include a slew of restaurants such as Johnny G's, Bougie Restaurant, and La Roca. Police also believe the 35-year-old was behind the fires at the constituency offices of Families Minister Nahani Fontaine and Homelessness and Addictions Minister Bernadette Smith. Officers say he was not known to police and did not have any previous convictions. 35-year-old Jesse Robert Wheatland has been charged with several offenses, including 13 counts of arson causing damage to property and 1 count of arson with disregard for human life. None of the charges have been tested in court. Police say they have identified a motive. However, they aren't sharing those details at this time due to it being an active investigation.
Taylor, do we know if there were other suspicious fires set recently? Are they linked to these in any way?
Well, that is a good question, Marilee. Police say they aren't closing the chapter on the investigation. Police tell us they believe he was acting alone and have ruled out a link to extortion. CTV's Jeff Keel spoke with some of the arson victims today, including MLAs and folks with the restaurant industry. He'll share how they're reacting to the arrest coming up at 6.
All right, looking forward to that. Thanks, Taylor. We're learning the city got to work enforcing new rules surrounding homeless encampments the very day they took effect. The Public Service says 2 encampments were cleared Monday, one by Omans Creek near Polo Park Mall and another at a vacant lot at the corner of Ellen Street and Pacific Avenue. The details were provided to councillors during yesterday's Executive Policy Committee meeting. Overall, the Public Service says the initiative went well and 3 people who were staying at the encampments chose to access housing provided through Main Street Project. Additionally, signage started going up at those 2 locations, along with several other sites across the city, informing people of the new rules. The new rules prohibit encampments near playgrounds, recreation facilities, schools, bridges, and other areas. Unionized nurses in Manitoba are voting today on whether to grey-list a second hospital in the province. Members of the Manitoba Nurses Union have started voting on whether to grey-list Thompson General Hospital over safety issues. MNU President Darlene Jackson says nurses started thinking about grey-listing the hospital in 2024 after someone fired a gun in the hospital chapel. Jackson says a patient was stabbed in the waiting room in August, and nurses felt the hospital was not a safe place to work.
I think nurses throughout Manitoba are getting to the point where safety is a huge concern, and we're just not willing to take risks any longer.
In August, Manitoba nurses grey-listed Health Sciences Centre. The designation means nurses have declared HSC to be an unsafe working environment. Health Minister Usoma Asagara says 8 institutional safety officers will be hired at Thompson General Hospital as quickly as possible. Voting by MNU members wraps up Friday. Your drive in South Winnipeg could get quicker and safer thanks to 2 infrastructure projects. Design work is set to start on upgrades to the Abanushi-Mikina and Waverly Street intersection. Earlier this year, a city committee passed a motion to look into safety improvements at that intersection. Several improvements are now on the table, including adding a second eastbound turning lane and extending the existing east and westbound turning lanes. Those changes would be incorporated during the planned renewal of Abanushi-Mikina in 2027. The city is also working on a road extension design connecting Bison Drive from Frontier Trail to Waverly Street. It says the move would make it easier and safer for people to get around, but says the draft design is being developed for council's consideration. The work would also improve the Bison and Waverly intersection. A Winnipeg pool has officially reopened after receiving nearly $10 million in renovations. Bonnie Vittel Pool on Archibald Street reopened Monday after being closed in May of 2024 due to aging infrastructure. The renovations include a new sauna, which is expected to open soon, and a multi-purpose room. Several of the pool's mechanical systems were also upgraded, such as heating, ventilation, and fire alarm systems. The city says $4.5 million for the project came from the province. The city is now accepting bids to restore a bridge which has been closed for months. The city is looking for someone to begin work on the first phase of the Louise Bridge substructure rehabilitation. It involves structural pier rehabilitation, underwater work, as well as the installation of bridge bearings. The 115-year-old bridge closed in May as part of an annual inspection, but the reopening was delayed after crews found more serious issues. The work is expected to be completed by June 2027 at the latest. Doctors Manitoba is praising the Canoe government's decision to ban short absence sick notes.
There's a few ways to retain doctors. One of the ways to do that is to reduce their administrative burden, and sick notes falls under that.
In the province's throne speech yesterday, it promised to ban sick notes for absences of less than a week. Doctors Manitoba says the ban is a great step forward. Dr. Nichelle Désolé says eliminating sick notes will free up the equivalent of 300,000 patient visits each year. Still, she had hoped for more in the throne speech.
We had hoped to see a broader commitment to extend the successes that have been achieved over the past 2 years in terms of physician recruitment, but also to spread that and not forget about the retention.
Doctors Manitoba says more than 600,000 sick notes are requested annually in the province, and adds a third of the time patients no longer have symptoms by the time they see their doctor, leading to over $8 million in unnecessary appointments each year. Let's bring in Colleen Brady now and get a first look at our Skywatch evening forecast. What are you tracking for us tonight, Colleen?
Well, it's a little drizzly out there, put it that way. And if you are in southeastern Manitoba, right in the corner of the province, a few showers are making their way through your neck of the woods right now. Cloudy again, like it was yesterday, really almost a carbon copy of yesterday. Cloudy, temperatures getting above freezing, and with always the threat of precipitation. Well, as we head into this evening, that doesn't change too much. What will? The temperatures somewhat. I'll get into that and show you a look ahead to the rest of the week and a look at our upcoming weekend. Let's take a look right now, though, first through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. In Winnipeg right now, it's misty and 3 degrees. Light winds 9 kilometers an hour coming from the west-northwest. The pressure is dropping and the humidity is 86%. Out in traffic on this Wednesday afternoon, a live look out at Portage Avenue in front of Polo Park. Traffic at a stop right there. One traffic note to let you know about northbound Kenniston, just south of McGillivray. There's been a collision there affecting the northbound middle lane.
We always have known that, how smart and how intelligent, wolves are.
And animal evolution, why some gray wolves may be learning to use tools.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Get Winnipeg's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
NVIDIA reported results for its third quarter, reporting revenue of $57 billion US, easily beating expectations. That's a 62% increase from revenue in the same period last year. The solid report expected to revive confidence in technology stocks, which have been dragged down by nervous investors. They worry about how the billions of dollars being spent on AI infrastructure will turn into revenue. NVIDIA's report pushed its share price up in after-hours trading. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 71.13. West Texas Intermediate crude is down $1.42 to 59.25. Western Canadian Select is up to 48.05, and the TSX gained 241 points today, ending the day at 30,278. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Market Watch is brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, group health plans for any size business.
Canada Post says the company is effectively insolvent. That's the message from the company's chief financial officer after it posted a sharp loss of more than $1 billion in the first 9 months of this year alone. The Crown Corporation says it expects to lose up to 30,000 employees to retirement or voluntary departures over the next decade. It says declines in letter mail and labor disputes have put a strain on business. We're learning more today about a jaw-dropping video captured in BC. It shows a wolf that figured out how to use a tool invented by humans. CTV's St. John Alexander reports.
That's not a dog playing fetch, but a wolf with a buoy in its mouth. She wasn't trained to do this, but somehow knew her effort would pay off.
We always have known that, how smart and how intelligent, wolves are.
The images were captured by researchers who've been trying to learn even more about the animals, in particular in the Haitsup Nation. They were also trying to solve a mystery, why so many crab traps were being damaged. So they set up cameras and audio recorders.
And we thought, maybe we'd see a seal going by or we'd see a mink going by, and we might get a bit of a hint as to what's doing this.
There were clues. Buoys were munched up like chew toys. But it couldn't be a bear, couldn't be a wolf, because the traps were set way out in deep water. Yet the eye of the camera told a different story.
Wow, I guess we weren't anticipating seeing this.
After getting out of the water, a quick shake to dry off, somehow the wolf knew to reach down, get hold of the line, and reel in the trap. She also knew all of it had to come in, because the goodies, that's the bait, were in the orange cup.
It's not surprising that they're able to figure something like this out. Like, they are just so intelligent. They are so much like us. There's a lot of familiarity there.
So far, researchers don't believe the wolf was after some crab and was quite satisfied by the snack in the bait cup. However, she may surprise them yet. St. John Alexander, CTV News, Vancouver.
A visit from some Celtic women when the Irish singing group will be forming in our city.
We all know just how cold Manitoba winters can be. Imagine not having a winter coat, boots, a toque, or mitts, and stepping out into the cold. That's the reality for many kids. But you can change that. Give the gift of warmth. Donate to Coats for Kids. Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Christmas with Johnny Reed.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and fans can soon own the instruments that once belonged to a Canadian music legend.
That's right. Items from the estate of Gordon Lightfoot are going up for auction. The sale include Lightfoot's personal belongings, stage-worn costumes, and rare memorabilia. Also up for auction is his iconic 1948 Martin D18 guitar, which is considered part of Canadian music heritage. The sale hits the Toronto Gallery on November 26th with online bidding available.
A popular children's character is coming back to Winnipeg.
That's right, Marilee, and his touring show will make a stop at the Burton Cummings Theatre.
Get ready to see the world more curiously because Blippi is coming to your hometown. The Be Like
Blippi and his best friend Mika are taking the stage on May 16th for 2 shows. The live-action performances designed for kids aged 2 to 7 will feature an interactive adventure that inspires kids to move, play, and explore. Parents should note the duo are played by performers. Tickets go on sale Friday at Ticketmaster.ca.
The soothing sounds of the Emerald Isle will grace an audience in Winnipeg this spring.
You bet, and it will feature exquisite harmonies and world-class musicianship. Irish musical ensemble Celtic Woman is bringing its new show, A New Era, on a North American tour in the new year. They'll be stopping at Centennial Concert Hall April 6th. Tickets go on sale Friday. Just head online to centennialconcerthall.com or call its box office.
Fans of the Beatles will have a new series to look forward to.
Get this, 30 years after the original version of the Beatles anthology series aired, a newly restored version is coming to Disney+.
We never had much privacy. Everybody's saying, oh, there's more people here than came to see the Queen. I should think so. She didn't have any hit records.
Ouch. The 9-episode series will air over 3 nights beginning November 26th. The original series had 8 episodes and contained interviews with Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and George Harrison, along with archival interviews with John Lennon. This extra episode will include unreleased footage of the then surviving Beatles from 1995.
Very cool. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. Test your knowledge with The Floor at 7. George and Mandy's first marriage is on at 8. And hit the road with The Amazing Race at 8:30. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The CTV Primetime lineup is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
Still getting used to it being so dark at this time of the day. Looking right now at Kenniston and Sterling Lyon Parkway, it's busy. The traffic moving well there. 3 degrees in the city and misty. I'll have your full forecast coming up.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
Colleen Brady is going to join us in a second with your complete Skywatch forecast. But first, an interesting story. He's in good spirits now, but an 86-year-old man had a near-death experience Sunday. It's an amazing story of survival. It was snowing heavily at the time, and 86-year-old Gerard LeBlanc lost control of his Toyota Corolla. It slid down a rocky embankment into a body of water. What makes the story even more incredible, though, is he did it all with broken bones in his neck and spine. He was found by a passerby and later rushed to hospital. He will likely be there for a couple weeks, but his daughter tells CTV News the senior is in good spirits.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Now Colleen Brady joins us with a complete Skywatch forecast. I was jumping the gun there. Temperature is looking great here. No worries about slipping and sliding on our roads, at least here in the city.
Well, no. Having said that, we should drop just below freezing. So if we do see any of that drizzle show up this evening, just watch out for the possibility it might get a little bit slick out there. But elsewhere, now I'm having trouble speaking. How about that? A little bit of light shower picking up just in the southeastern corner of our province. Next door in Ontario, showers spread across the region there. But I'm going to show you the futurecast right now. Here are those showers. But look also where that turns to pink. That is freezing rain back across the Interlake in Manitoba, sweeping back into parts of the southwest. So watch out for the possibility of slippery conditions there. Meanwhile, we've had some snow crossing northern Manitoba once again today, sort of in an intermittent fashion. So there's more that's yet to come through tonight. Meanwhile, back in northwestern Ontario, look at this. You have rain later on tonight, maybe a band of freezing rain, and then a flip over to a snowfall a little further to the north and to the east. And that will continue overnight into Thursday, pushing to the east. Meanwhile, we get the sunshine back here throughout the day tomorrow here in the southern part of the province, while the rest of the province in central northern regions will be on the cloudy side. For tonight, we slip just below freezing down to -1. -1, with that chance of some drizzle this evening. Winds at their strongest overnight out of the northwest at 15 kilometers an hour. Sunshine, remember that? Well, that comes back tomorrow with another nice high of 4 degrees. Now, for some perspective, the normal daytime high for this time of year for Winnipeg is -3. Our overnight low is even milder than that. Winds out of the west at 20 kilometers an hour. Taking us into the long-range forecast, and the sunshine, it will continue. And guess what? So do the mild temperatures. Friday will feel a little bit cooler, but again, still a handful of degrees above normal. Abundant sunshine Friday, 1 degree. Our overnight low drops off only a couple of degrees down to -1. And then the weekend looks fantastic. Take a look at that. Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud, +5 is the high. And then on Sunday, another high of 5 degrees. It will be even sunnier. By the time we get into Monday, a mix of sun and cloud, still above normal, 3 degrees, and even at 0 on Tuesday. That's still above normal for this time of year. Clouding over with a chance of flurries. And again, take a look at those overnight lows too. Still, they are milder than our normal highs are for this time of year. Pretty incredible, this run of very mild temperatures, the highs and the lows. Let's take a look at some weather photos, shall we, on this Wednesday afternoon. This one takes us out near Roland, Manitoba. That gorgeous shot was taken by Isla. And this next photo is a very nice one as well. This takes a look out onto the water that's starting to freeze up. They're waiting to play hockey out there, says Mike. That's out in Ingolf, Ontario, just over the border, quite close to West Hawk Lake back here in Manitoba. If you want to send us your weather photos, you can by email to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
The CTV Skywatch Pick of the Day is brought to you by the Manitoba Chiropractors Association. We've got your back.
Well, you may have no plans to own a donkey, but it's good to know there is a great resource available.
It's a great introduction video to learning about donkey housing, how to set up your farm, vet care they require.
The Donkey Sanctuary of Canada has just released a new online virtual tool about proper donkey ownership. Its first video is about care essentials. The second one is coming next month and will be about nutrition. More videos are planned next year. All right, build me a barn, sign me up.
No
I want
kidding.
donkeys now.
And
Look
now
how
I have,
cute.
I have Dominic the donkey in my head now.
That is a good song this time of year.
It is catchy, isn't it?
All right, well, you Google that and listen to that, then come right back here. We'll be back at 6 with more local news.
You're
then.
welcome.